So if you're like most practices, you worry a fair amount about whether or not you're falling behind, whether you're doing everything right. And as you look at your competition, you wonder, do I have the same insights and the same abilities that they do? Well, it's a reasonable thing to fear because change is a constant and change is quick when it comes to online marketing. What we're going to focus on today are 10 trends, things that are happening right now that are going to influence how you market through the rest of this year and into 2019. Hi again, my name is Ryan Miller with Etna Interactive, and let's dive right into the first of those trends. Let's talk about what's happening with the patient's journey. Now, it's an old concept, the idea that some people begin with awareness. They move through interest, engaging in research before they ultimately make a decision. Most marketing has focused historically in that interest phase when patients are actively researching. Well, there's new data out from RealSelf and Real Patient Ratings, or Visium 360, that tells us that patients' research actually intensifies after they make their commitment to a consultation. So thinking about what kinds of information we offer later in the patient's journey is a hot trend today, as is marketing to machines. Now, this has been around for a really long time. If we think about the earliest days of search engine optimization, what did we do? Well, we went to Google, we did research on the words and phrases or keywords that people use when they search, and then we stuffed those phrases into copy. Very often the text that was the result really wasn't very fun to read, but we suffered through it because we understood that the machines, Google's robots, needed to see certain keywords in certain places at certain frequency if we ever hoped to rank well. Well, Google's gotten more sophisticated about analyzing and understanding your content, but so have the requirements for top rankings today. With the rise of things like schema, which is the ability that we have to wrap context around the words and the phrases on your site, the requirements that our sites today are fast, they're secure, they're mobile friendly. More than ever before, we have to understand the expectations of the machines if we hope to reach new patients online. A couple more emerging trends that focus in and around the way that we use content. Content marketing has been a buzzword for quite a number of years, but it's certainly on the rise again. The challenge that practices face today, though, is really understanding what is their best way to reach patients through content. For some, it will be things like blog articles. Others, it will be before and after photos. Some will be quite comfortable on video. Well, others still are going to use reviews and their reputation as the vehicle for connecting with content on the web. So your challenge here, as it aligns with this trend, is to find the best content for you to produce. And then once you've produced it, to leverage the next trend to get the most out of it. That's upcycling. The idea that you can take a single piece of content, let's use as our example before and after photos. Right, you have one great before and after photo, you could easily turn that into a blog post detailing that patient's journey. Once that's complete, you can turn that information into an alert that you send out to your email list subscribers, and then do a series of promotions on social media to draw people back to the blog post or the photo gallery on your site. That's one piece of content upcycled for many purposes. In addition to that, we're seeing that staff are becoming superstars. It's not uncommon today to see all across the medical arena that nurses, physician extenders, receptionists, not just the doctors, are starring in videos, are writing blogs, all in support of the promotion of the practice. So finding the ways to identify and frankly exploit the abilities of your staff to contribute content is a trend that's definitely on the rise as well. And as we were talking about social media just a minute ago, we have to acknowledge the emerging trend that increasingly social media is pay to play. And that means for practice leaders that to embrace this trend, you really need to get good at targeting audience, identifying the right platform, and ensuring that you have the appropriate measures, well, so that you don't lose at the game of pay to play. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's happening with voice search. It's very likely that you yourself use Siri to search, or your Alexa or Google Home device in order to connect with information online. Now, that's only increasing. By some estimations, we're only a few years away from the majority of queries being driven from voice search. What this means is that we've got to produce more content that's narrowly focused on the kinds of queries that people use when they search. And frankly, it's no longer about reputation management. Today, we need to be thinking about reputation marketing. How we connect with and create experiences for patients that ultimately encourage them to share that amazing experience that they had inside your office with the world on the web. Now, let's talk finally here about two emerging trends that I think are really exciting. Direct-to-consumer communications through both email and text. Certainly social media has been sexy for a number of years, and I think it's driven practices to, well, maybe not devote as much attention to their email marketing. With the rise of text messaging and the ability of platforms today to monitor patient preference between the email and the text platforms, we have better odds than ever than connecting with the patients with this kind of direct push messaging. And then finally, and I think this is maybe one of the most important areas that we see practices focusing time and energy today, it's really about extracting more value about every dollar that they invest in marketing. Lead nurturing, or the concept going back to the very beginning and thinking about the patient journey, that not everyone you reach online is ready for their consultation today, but they probably will be someday soon. How is it that we nurture that relationship so the day they're ready for their consultation, they choose us? Devoting time and energy there as you're looking at and thinking about which of these other trends fits well with what you're doing online is going to help you get the most from your online investment. Now, of course, we'll do a quick recap there on those top 10 trends, leaving them up on the screen for just a minute still. And for those that are committed to and interested in learning out more, check out the related blog posts that we've created on this topic. It's going to allow you to read articles and watch videos topic by topic so you can take a deeper dive and learn more about any one of these trends.